What is going on, everybody? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Today we're talking rankings, top 12 overall rankings for fantasy football 2019. Now, the NFL free agency period has been absolutely crazy. People moving all over the place. And now it's starting to affect the rankings. So I figured let's put a video out there. Let's see where some of these moves are, where are they going, where are they possibly headed to, and try to trend them here over the offseason so that come season time, we know where these guys are going to fall in our fantasy football drafts. Now, before I get into the list, if you haven't checked out fantasyfootballcalculator.com, go check it out after this video. It's linked down in the description. Tons of tools here for your off-season research. ADPs, ADP trends can all be found there on that website. Great tool, like I said, so go check that out after the video is over. But for now, let's talk about who our top 12 players are for 2019. All right, number one overall, and these are PPR rankings, just for anybody who's wondering, is going to be Ezekiel Elliott of the Dallas Cowboys, which seems kind of weird with him being number one in a PPR format. But look at his numbers from last year. Over 70 receptions. He really added that different dimension to his game, and it skyrocketed his value. We know he's durable. We know he's going to see a huge workload on the ground with over 300 carries. Add in the pass-catching ability and Amari Cooper to that offense, which has really stretched the field. It's pulled defenders out of the box. This is another one of those years where I could see Zeke getting a huge workload, which he's consistently turned in to a solid performance year in and year out. In my opinion, the safest pick, the easiest guy for me to go in there on draft day and feel 100% comfortable that I'm getting a solid running back one. I got Zeke Elliott number one overall. Number two is going to be Christian McCaffrey, which may be a little bit higher than a few other guys, but look what he did last year. Over 100 receptions, over 200 carries on the ground. And what really changed from 2019? Not a whole lot. I mean, Cam Newton is banged up. Does he play? Sounds like he's going to be good to go. But even if he's not, we know Christian McCaffrey is going to be a check down king. And if he can get 200 carries on the ground to go with that, he has huge value in PPR leagues. We were a little concerned if he was going to be durable enough to hold up to such a huge workload, and he did just fine last year. Expect a lot of the same again here in 2019. Love Christian McCaffrey. Right now I have him number two overall. Number three is going to be Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. And full disclosure, I had him as my number one player just a few days ago, and then they went and traded Odell Beckham. And now I don't have that warm fuzzy anymore. I was really looking forward to Odell being on the outside and pulling away some of that defensive attention. Now, the defenses can just focus on Saquon Barkley. Do they try to take him away completely and force Eli Manning, who looks like he just ate a fresh box of Crayolas, to beat them down the field with Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? It's entirely possible, and if that's the case, I do think Barkley's value takes a slight hit. Now, he's going to be involved in the passing game. He's going to get like a buttload and 4 checkdowns, I'm sure, throughout the season. He's going to be heavily involved. It's why I still have him at number 3. There's just a little bit more risk there right now, and that's the reason I dropped him down just a couple spots. Number 4 is Alvin Kamara, the New Orleans Saints, and we figured that Mark Ingram would be out of town. What we didn't figure is that they would go sign Latavius Murray, who is basically Mark Ingram with more athletic ability. Does he continue to fill that role that Ingram left behind? It's entirely possible. He could steal touchdowns at times, but one thing is for certain. Alvin Kamara is a big piece of this offense. A high-powered offense that's still led by Drew Brees. As long as that's the case, he's going to see the volume in this offense. He's had over 1,500 total yards the last 2 years. He's definitely somebody who's going to continue to see that similar type of production. He just may not be that guy that we saw the first 4 games of last season that absolutely took over everywhere. If that were the case, he may have been one of my top players, 1 or 2, being that they signed Latavius Murray, and there's still that inkling of a chance that he turns into Mark Ingram 2.0 and steals some of that upside. Had to drop him down a couple spots. I got Alvin Kamara right now, 4th overall. Number 5, Davante Adams of the Green Bay Packers. I kind of wanted to wait to see if the Packers made any moves in free agency. I mean, there's been a lot of rumors surrounding the Packers. Are they going to sign another wide receiver, somebody to go opposite of Davante Adams? Hasn't really happened as of yet. Now, the Raiders, they cut Jordy Nelson. Does he reunite with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? We'll have to wait and find out. But as of right now, it's still the Davante Adams show. He's somebody who's going to put up huge numbers in an offense where he is the number 1 target of Aaron Rodgers. He's going to see double-digit touchdowns. He's going to see 100-plus catches. Definitely somebody we need to keep our eye on, and right now I have him as my wide receiver 1. Like I said, if there's other moves where they bring in other pieces to Green Bay, he may take a slight hit down a spot or two, but still one of the most elite wide receivers in all of football, and I have him right now, number 5 overall. Number 6 is DeAndre Hopkins, and really, if I could do a 5A and a 5B, I would have done it with Adams and Hopkins. I mean, Hopkins has been by far one of the most consistent producers in all of the NFL in his time there with the Texans. He's durable, only missed one game here as a professional. He's produced with the likes of Tom Savage and Brock Osweiler. Now another year with Deshaun Watson. If there's anything that worries me about the potential upside of DeAndre Hopkins, it's if Will Fuller decides he stays healthy for a year. It's if Kiki Do You Love Me QT takes away some of these targets. That's the only thing that I really see harming DeAndre Hopkins. He's still going to be an elite talent. He'll still be one of the top wide receivers. He's still worthy of a first-round pick. Right now, I have him number 6 overall, just based off of the volume alone he could see here in 2019. Number 7 is where I have Todd Gurley right now, and he's somebody we really need to pay attention to here in the offseason. A lot of people still pissed at Todd Gurley after the end of 2018 when he missed time with an injury, or was he injured? Whatever that was at the end of 2018, kind of left a sour taste in people's mouth. What happens here in the offseason? Do they keep another back in that backfield to kind of split carries with Todd Gurley to keep him healthy? Is he going to be healthy going into the season? Lots of question marks, but if the guy is healthy, if it's his backfield alone, by all means, he goes right back up to the top spot. He's somebody who over the past 2 years has averaged close to 2,000 total yards and 20 touchdowns. That's huge numbers. We can't overlook that. We can't just say, he's not good anymore. He's still one of the best running backs in football. We just need to pay attention in the offseason to see how they handle things in LA. He's an elite talent. Don't forget about Todd Gurley. Don't be pissed at Todd Gurley over the end of last year. Let's see how things play out here in the next couple months, and then we'll make that decision. But right now, I have him number 7 overall. Number 8 is going to be Odell Beckham of now the Cleveland Browns, which is really exciting to say. We may actually see the Browns on primetime football in 2019. I don't know if that's ever happened. It's going to be exciting to see what he can do in this offense. Now, obviously, Baker Mayfield is a huge, huge upgrade over Eli Manning. On the other hand, though, he also has Jarvis Landry opposite of him, which is probably the best wide receiver he's ever played with on the same team. So Jarvis is still going to see targets. Does that really hurt Odell Beckham, though? Not really. I mean, the defenses aren't going to be able to double team all over the field. They have too many weapons. With Nick Chubb in the backfield, we know that Kareem Hunt's going to be suspended, whatever happens with that. Then you got Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, David Njoku. With Baker Mayfield back there, the defense can't stop all of them. Odell's going to get his, and it would not surprise me one bit that if he can stay healthy, which I know is a question mark, he doesn't finish as wide receiver 1 this year. We've never seen what he can do with a quarterback the likes of a Baker Mayfield. I'm looking forward to it. Right now, I have him number 8 overall. Number 9, Le'Veon Bell here now with the New York Football Jets, Jets, Jets. And I think we still need to temper expectations slightly. He's still an elite running back. He's still going to get great numbers. But we cannot come into this season assuming that he's going to get the same production that we saw in Pittsburgh. We can't do that. It's a different offense. It's a different offensive line. It's a different scheme. How are they going to do things in New York here this year? Adam Gase is in town. We saw what he did with the split with Frank Gore and Kenyon Drake in Miami. Does he do something crazy like that in New York? Not entirely out of the question. He shouldn't, but I'm not the coach of the Jets and I don't make those decisions. It's something to pay attention to. He's still going to be a workhorse running back in the NFL. There's very few of them. He deserves to still be in the first round conversation, except the only difference is where he used to be in the conversation for the number 1 overall pick. Now he's starting to fall into the second half of the first round, which is still great value for somebody who could put up huge numbers in 2019. Number 10 is Melvin Gordon. One of his biggest concerns is just staying healthy. If Melvin Gordon could stay on the field, he could definitely be one of these elite running backs on a yearly basis. He's already putting up big numbers. The touchdowns are going to be there. Phillip Rivers under center still has that ability to pull defenders back because he can stretch the field. He likes to air it out. He's going to throw the football. That's what Phillip Rivers does. That is one of the main reasons that Melvin Gordon sees so much success in this offense. It's based off of the talent and the receiving weapons that they have for the Chargers. Now, do they start to go to a little bit more of a split in this backfield? Entirely possible, since Melvin does struggle with durability at times. However, at the end of the first round, when you're looking to get, a turn pick here, right around 10, 11, 12, whatever that may be, if you can land a Melvin Gordon in the first round, back half of the first round, it's definitely a solid RB1 talent that you then pair up with either a second RB or a stud wide receiver to start off the second round. Still love Melvin Gordon, still love the upside. The double-digit touchdown upside is always going to be there for him. He's still a solid pick here in 2019. Number 11 is going to be Julio Jones of the Atlanta Falcons, and he continues to put up crazy, crazy numbers, right? I mean, the guy's had over, 1,400 yards for 5 straight seasons. The biggest knock on him has been, his durability, his injury concern, and his touchdowns. Well, he's played 2 straight full seasons without missing a game, and last season had 8 touchdowns. Definitely took a step forward. If he can put together that ridiculous yardage, which is going to happen as long as he stays healthy, if he can keep the touchdown range right there in that 8 to 10 mark, you're looking at an elite wide receiver easy that you're getting at the back half of the first round. Love Julio Jones. As long as Matt Ryan's under center, they're going to feature Julio Jones in that offense. We know Tevin Coleman is out of town. Calvin Ridley could take a slight step forward, but really does it eat into Julio Jones? Not really. Defense have been trying to take him away for years, and they just can't stop the guy. I expect more of that in 2019. Let's just hope that the touchdowns pick up right where they left off. Number 12 is going to be Michael Thomas, and as long as Drew Brees is under center in that high-powered offense, Michael Thomas is probably going to be here at the back half of the first round. I struggle with it. I thought about throwing in Tyreek Hill, who I think is also somebody who's going to have a great year again this season. But Michael Thomas had over 120 receptions last season in an offense that's going to feature him, that's led by Drew Brees, and he's right now one of the only receiving options, one of the only solid receiving options in that offense outside of Alvin Kamara. He's going to see ridiculous volume, and he's seen it for 2 seasons. Defenses can't guard him. It's kind of why his Twitter handle is Can't Guard Mike, because people really struggle with it. So as long as he's there with Drew Brees, Sean Payton, that high-powered offense, he's going to see a lot of volume. He's a durable athlete. He's not going to miss a lot of time. Love Michael Thomas, and right now I have him at 12th overall. All right, that was my top 12 overall picks here so far for 2019, but it's only March. We have a long way to go. We have more free agents to sign, trades to happen, a draft that's about to take off. A lot of things can change before the season, but I really wanted to get this out here now so we have something to start to trend. Where do these guys go over the next few months? So that way, come draft time here in 2019, we'll be ready to go with a confident selection of who we want in the first round. If I didn't put somebody in here, somebody that you think belongs in here, let me know down in the comment section. Who would you remove from this list? Who would you drop up or bump up or drop down? Let me know. I'd love to interact with you guys. I'd like to see how you guys view the list, and I'd love to debate it back and forth with you. No need to go out there and be all rude about it and say I'm stupid because I don't have your player in it. Makes no sense, and you're probably just going to get ignored. No, I'll probably respond because the more comments I get, the more views I get. But whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. I enjoy communicating back and forth with you guys. One of the most interactive channels here on YouTube. If you leave something down below, somebody's going to respond to you. It's definitely a huge community full of people, full of enthusiastic fantasy football people that I'm looking forward to talking to here in 2019. Hopefully you guys are having a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.